All right. Well, good morning. I guess it did. There it goes. Now it's live. For some reason, when I hit go on the main YouTube feed, it did not go, and here we are. So, been a little chaotic and fucking an interesting morning. So let's get to it. Start again. Start again. Good morning, good morning, good morning. John Palmer, thanks for stopping over on the vertical feed. The main feed is now live. I don't know. I don't know. It's like I'm new to this shit and only done it once or twice, not 811 times. So I guess you're never completely competent at the things you try to do. But anyway, we're gonna talk a little conspiracy theory this morning. We'll see how well this goes from here on out. Why everything is all messed up. I don't know if my computer updated or what's going on, but everything is all out of whack, and it's I don't know. I don't know. Can you see? Can anyone hear me out on this? Did this actually go live now? It looks as though it does. If you could drop a comment. John says that's an accident. You're welcome. So he must be hearing me something on the vertical feed. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see anything there. Nothing there. Good morning over on Noster. If you're watching over on Noster, you drop me a comment and let me know if it's coming through, if you can hear this. No idea. No idea. Well, I'm not going to... I don't think I want to talk to myself this morning. I don't know what the fuck. Oh, shit. Pip, good morning. Hey, Pip, can you hear me? I don't know. I don't know what went on. I started live. The live started, and then it wasn't live, but it still gave me the opportunity to start it again. So I don't know if something didn't go through on the first try, and I don't even know. Okay, you got me 5x5. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. We can go with it. I hit go as I normally do. I hit go on the other feed like I normally do, and the one of them started and one of them didn't. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So, anyway, I got some conspiracy theories on the list I want to talk about this morning. They're all right. They're all right. Like I've said before on Fridays, when you pound away at them week after week after week, it's you run out of plausible, semi-plausible, or interesting theories to talk about going forward. So I was able to come up with a couple here that kind of interested me. Some I've kind of heard about, some I've seen in passing, and I just threw them on the list and thought I would share them with you. Pip says good on mobile and desktop. All right, sounds good. I guess it finally went. I don't know what was going on. John Palmer says nothing but total professionalism here. I wish, man. I really do. I don't know. I gotta do something about the mornings. So we'll see what goes on here. But anyway, let's get to it. Light Guatemalan from Food Forest Farms this morning. New bag. It's fantastic. I just started sipping on it. Obviously, I haven't had enough to get me going, enough to get the show rolling and make that work. But yeah, we'll see as we dive into it. First conspiracy theory I popped up. I was like enthralled by this guy. So he's I've seen him a couple different times. He does a podcast. I think it's a monthly podcast on conspiracy theories. And so he starts talking And I'm like really drawn in. He's like, this is the baby pickle conspiracy. And my mind starts racing and I'm like, what could, oh Jesus, Pip says I forgot to bring in another batch of coffee and stuck with the dealership blend. Ooh. Is the dealership blend Folgers? Is that the dealership blend? Is it the red can or the blue can? But the guy says he says this is the baby pickle conspiracy theory, and I was like, so this is like where they get rid of all the waste cucumbers, or baby pickles aren't real, or whatever. I'm trying to figure out where he's going to go with the baby pickle conspiracy theory. And so he goes on to talk about, you can go into the grocery store, and you guys can try this for yourselves. You can go into the grocery store and pick up a jar of baby pickles. And, you get it. You can get them in the little jar, and the little bigger jar in the regular aisle. But then they have another aisle in the grocery store where they have the bulk commodities, where you get like the huge can of peaches, or the big rubber tub of mayonnaise or ranch dressing, shit like that. If you go and find a jar of baby pickles in the bulk food section, and you compare the size of the baby pickles in the baby pickle jar, the small jar, to the baby pickles in the bulk food aisle, the bulk food aisle is just a large jar full of medium pickles that look like baby pickles. They're actually much larger than the baby pickles. And I looked at the screen kind of stunned and went, okay, what's the conspiracy here, that they're selling off medium-sized pickles for baby pickles in bulk? And legitimately, that's where he ended. So I felt like I lost a couple minutes. I lost a couple minutes of my life listening to that. I wasn't sure if there was a grand conspiracy in the pickle world to provide less baby pickles, because that maybe it was that actual baby pickles filling up a gallon jar would be too many pickles per the pickle conglomerate, or I don't know what he was getting at. It cut off at the end of that, and I kind of searched for the baby pickle conspiracy theory and really didn't find much about it. So I think the son of a bitch might have been making it up. I don't know. I'm going to the grocery store today. Do we want to look at
We don't have any time to walk around and bullshit. We gotta prove these rules. You can tell them that.
Corey's going to grocery shopping by herself today. Corey's taking the day, and she's going to go and do laundry, get propane, get dog food, and go to the grocery store, Lowe's and Walmart and the meat market, like her house husband does. Mike's Homestead must have heard what Corey said, and he says, "Go, Corey." Hunter over on Twitch. Good morning, Hunter. He says, I'm all on the edge of my seat. And then, yeah, exactly. That was me. I was going all in on the pickle theory, thinking that it was going to be some expose of the cabal or the Illuminati had their hands in the pickle jar, literally. But basically, it was just that the bulk baby pickles are bigger than the regular baby pickles. You heard it here first, or second, if you saw that TikTok. Pip says, "Good morning, Corey." Everybody likes her. She might as well just come in and do the show. You guys would have a much better morning for sure. So that's the baby pickle theory. And I would check it out for you guys. I would take it for the team and go and check it out. But Corey says, no. And legitimately, the other day I asked her, has it been getting better? Because she's been going more often with her with her schedule changing and her being off every other Friday and being more available when I'm doing groceries, or her actually having to go to town to get some stuff that for some reason I'm too Neanderthal to pick out or figure out how to get it for her. So she has to go with me to the store to pick it out herself. She's been going and shopping with me more, and I've been consciously trying to be better about it. And I asked her, wanting to know, am I improving? Am I getting better? And she told me I was. And then right here, live on the internet, she just throws shade. She throws shade. I taught her that term. Sure did. Sure did. She thought it was about tomatoes, but not so much. But she told me I've been doing better, and then here this morning, she just like smacks me in the face in front of everybody. Thanks, sweetheart. Huh? She says, I'm the one talking. Yeah. Cool. Would you like me to turn it off? We can have a conversation about our shopping trips. Oh, man. Next one on the list. This is going to be a burner today. Next one on the list. Hunter says throwing nightshade. You guys, did I ever tell you that? So this was way back when we were on the farm. We had starter plants. We had racks of starter plants, like the garage shelves, metal shelving. We started just ass loads of plants because we sold them. And so if the lights are a little high or it gets it gets longer in the process, the plants get tall, and depending on what plants you have and the growth rate of the ones next to them, they cast a shadow over the other plants. They don't get as much grow light. And so one day Corey's standing there and she's like, the taller tomato plants are throwing shade across the other ones. And this was right. I won't even want to say it was right at the beginning. This was well into that term being used by the hip young people, which obviously Corey wasn't, because I looked at her. I was like, oh, yeah, she's got a beef with it. She's like, huh? What? And I was able to explain to her, or I had to explain to her what throwing shade meant. And she was just blown away. So yeah, it's not that great, but my wife is sure up on the pop culture. Good morning, Courtney Baker. How we doing? Courtney Baker says, I heard you're trying to show my husband your weenus. Well, I think everybody would try to show your husband their weenus, because have you looked at him? Huh. Wait. Do you blame me? I think every man and woman out there is probably trying to show Hunter their weenus. You're lucky he comes home without a phone full of weenus pictures. Pip says, do we ask to move the ducks to break 100K Bitcoin? Do we ask to move the ducks? I don't know, man. Sailor duck and red star duck have been holding the line pretty good. We're doing pretty good, Pip. We can't get greedy now. I think we should move the ducks so we have a large crash so we could buy more, since it's payday. Maybe it's payday. I think maybe next week. I don't know. She was pushing 100K last night. Hunter wants somebody to clip that. If you're listening and you have the ability to clip something, I'm guessing it was the little conversation about Hunter and his weenuses. Oh, it looks like Hunter's got a work girlfriend. Oh no. Hunter wants us to clip something about the weenus, him and weenus pictures on his phone or something. I'm not sure which part of that he wants to save. Hunter, if you get on Fountain, you can clip clip from Fountain for sure. And if it comes up as one of the AI suggested shorts, I'll definitely send it to you. But I doubt it will. Let's move on to the next crazy son of a bitch I saw on TikTok talking about conspiracy theory. I've seen this guy before, and man, he's a little off his rocker. He's I mean, he's easy to listen to. He isn't like completely insane. Um, Hunter's asking which work girlfriend, Christy. No, so there's more than one. There's more than one. As Hunter's World Turns. Welcome to another episode of As the World Turns, where we talk about Hunter's work and home life and all his girlfriends. Samantha Hunter is who she was referring to. Good morning, Canadian Farm said, and Courtney says he told me he could see see my weenus if Courtney sent me something special. Yeah, except you can't do that anymore. That got turned off when I switched channels, so you can't send the goods anymore on YouTube. So it'll have to be a private transaction behind the scenes for the weenus. Tom Palmer says Hunter is a hoe. Yeah. Okay. Next guy was talking about that we live in a simulation and how to keep yourself anchored in the simulation. He says there's a 7-year cycle, and we've all heard about the 7-year itch. We've heard that our cells replicate, all the cells in our body completely replicate and are new every 7 years. There's 7 years, and his theory is the operators of the simulation, the operators of the matrix, every 7 years come and switch us out. That's why people's personalities change at 7 years. It's why things kind of get a little goofy every 7 years. Is it 7 years of bad luck with a mirror? Does that reset when you break a mirror? Hey, he didn't even say this shit. Is it 7 years of bad luck? Is that it, Corey? Do you know? 7 years of bad luck. I wonder if breaking a mirror puts you into a new simulation or something. Interesting. But anyway, this guy says there's a surefire way to keep yourself anchored in the simulation so that you don't get swapped out. Basically, you swallow gum once every 7 years. He he says gum is the only real thing in our simulation. It's this weird substance that you chew and you chew and you chew and you chew and it doesn't go anywhere. And good gum at least. And it when you swallow it, it lasts for 7 years. That was always the number that I heard too growing up. So he put together in his wackadoodle brain that if you swallow a piece of gum every 7 years, it will anchor you in the simulation and can't pull you out. Canadian Farm says, did you drive into a mirror shop recently? I can't think of a mirror I broke or multiple mirrors in the case of our luck recently. But no, I don't believe. Thinking back to 7 years ago, maybe. Have we had any broken mirror? Oh, what?
You broke a square mirror that you bought to do gravestone shit.
Oh shit.
I have not broken
I did. It's not a MK Ultra type experiment, guys. It's just a broken mirror. Should be good in another 6 years or so. That was probably last year. Whoops. Courtney says at least Hunter's hoe for people with a pool. I mean, at least there's benefits. At least you're the type of wife that realizes the benefits you receive from your husband being a hoe. He's just providing for the family. So anyway, guys, stock up on gum. Once every 7 years, chew up a piece, swallow it down into your stomach, and supposedly that's going to anchor you in the simulation that you're currently in, and they won't be able to swap you out with a new version of yourself. So I don't know. That guy, he pops up on my shit every once in a while on TikTok, and he's always talking about gum. Always talking about gum. Hunter says, "What about demo guides?" That's purposely. I think the whole mirror thing is it has to be an accidental breakage. I'm pretty sure if you're intending to break the mirror, that breaks the bad luck thing. Is that how it goes? Do you know, Corey? Corey says, I don't know. I don't believe any of that shit. Here, her husband's just getting inundated with bad luck, and she's like, I don't know why. Canadian Farm says, the people around me voted for me to not swallow gum this time around. we want a new version of Canadian Farmstead. Perfect. All right. More simulation talk. I got a couple here about how we're in a simulation. Or one, okay, the first one is about the odds that we're in a simulation, and the second one is the why things have been kind of wonky since 2020 and how we got here. So the first one is the most plausible reason to believe we're in a simulation. Hunter says, "Did you do the Mandela effect about Thanksgiving being on the third Thursday?" I did not. I get confused with what day Thanksgiving's on anyway, so that would only further the confusion. I could never remember which holidays were set on a day and which holidays were set on a date, and so I stopped trying to dig in. John Palmer says, people around me probably want me to try to swallow a chicken bone. Jesus. That's not nice. I appreciate you being around, John. I don't want you to swallow a chicken bone. Courtney's probably hoping Hunter swallows a weenus so she can go swimming more often. So this was Elon Musk. Elon Musk was talking about this, and I don't think this was an edited thing. I think this was actually him giving a speech. It would look like some sort of TEDx speech or conference or other people on stage. Now, I don't know if this was the actual audio of what he said, but it's plausible. It's plausible that he would say this. But he was talking about, somebody asked him what the odds are that we're living in a simulation, and he said, "This is John Palmer says somebody is thirsty. They can hear you out there. You know that? Oh, he's hungry and thirsty. Our dogs have been eating ungodly amounts of food lately. I think it's because it's getting cold out. But Norman, I told you the other day that Norman, I think it might have just been in the group. I don't know if I talked about it on the show. But Norman, like, plowed through, 12 cups? A 12-cup bowl of food for dinner the other night. Like, we topped their bowl up. He ate hot dog and a half. A hot dog and a half cut up on top of 12 cups of food and plowed it straight to the bottom. And recently we've been waking up in the morning and their bowls are completely empty. Like their bowls are emptying way quicker. I think there might be bulking up for winter, but John Palmer said he thought it was Corey. See, give you shit as much as me. Well, not quite as much. Anyway, Elon was on stage talking about the odds were in a simulation, and he said, look at it this way, and it really made sense. So he said you think about 30. Well, now it's not so. Man, this might be an old video. He said, I think he said 30 years ago. That would put us in the late 1900s. I would say more. When did Pong come out? In the 70s? In the 80s? Must 70s. Pong in the 70s? Let's rewind to when Pong was out there, the first video game. Basically, it was a dot and two rectangles. Very limited by today's standard, especially by today's standard. And you fast forward in development, and now your video games are photorealistic, three-dimensional, many thousands of people playing the same game at the same time, interacting all over the world. He said just by the rate of advancement that we've seen, with any more advancement, even at a slower level, and with the gaming mechanisms, the set top, the PlayStation, as you will, the controlling box of the game spreading to billions of houses. He's like, there's a 1 in a billion chance that we're not in a game, that we're not in a simulation. Pip hitting the wiki, Pong release date was November 29th, 1972. Okay, so we got, what is that, 50 years. His theory is the fact that games have advanced so much, there's got to be very little chance that we're not actually living in one. That we're not actually part of someone else's game. That our whole universe, everything we know, is just a part. John Palmer says 52. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. It's actually 51, 300 and however many days. 350, 57 days, 58 days. I don't know. Jesus Christ.
Can you imagine if a bunch of people were online playing Pong together? How boring those conversations would be.
Corey, Jesus. Corey says, could you imagine how boring it would be if billions of people were just all online playing Pong together? He says the conversations would be pretty boring. I hit the ball. I missed the ball. I hit it back. No. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We sat around and played Pong when I was a kid. Huh? Corey played Pong. So that was about where her technological advancement stopped, was with Pong. And we can tell if you hang out with Corey any length of time. I was super impressed that Corey dove into a smartwatch. That she dove into, I guess it's a training watch. It's not necessarily not necessarily a smartwatch, but it does. It functions like one. Canadian Pharmacist says the trash talk would be harder. Your mom is a ball and a paddle. Your mom has balls and a paddle. Jesus. But anyway, it makes sense. Like if you think about any further advancements in, and it's already around, like virtual reality games, now that you're putting yourself into the game in virtual reality, was the picture in the Matrix right? Are we all just in all these little pods in a virtual reality world where it's actually a game? I want to reset. As long as I could reset with the one out in the other room there. What? Are you talking shit?
I said he's talking about you, Skishy, of course he is.
Pip says, "Oh, how about a Yank on Atari?" I don't know if I recall Yank. On Atari, I was a big Pitfall Harry, Barnstormer, and there was a football game. No, was the football game on the first Nintendo, or was that on Atari? I don't know. Hunter says, I've wondered about it, all the little people in my city builder game. Right? Canadian Farm says, can I reset with the knowledge to mine Bitcoin with my Pentium 2 computer? Yes. Pip says it wasn't Yank, it was Tank. Pip's over on Atari playing Yank. He put the wrong channel on. It was just a scrambled Cinemax. It wasn't the Atari game. All of a sudden he saw a nipple. He thought the game was called Yank. Oh, John Palmer says wank. Wank is what you did with the other joystick. Pip says I may or may not have tortured people in The Sims. You are one of the ones causing the natural disasters and stuff in the world because you think it's just a simulation. What an asshole. You're supposed to be a benevolent sim builder and treat your people right, and they won't riot. Canadian Farmstead says he's playing Yank, screaming, "I'm winning! I'm winning!" He holds the record for the fastest speed, the fastest game in Yank ever. I've always wondered that. Now, this is a weird, even for this show, but when they started coming out with the Wii, and I'm pretty sure they have this at the moment, when they started coming out with the Wii and all the interactive controllers, and even back to like what was the one that sat on top of the TV, Xbox 360 or some shit like that, where it mapped you out, and you had all the controllers with the sensors and everything. How did that not become super mainstream to have porno games or hooker games where the controllers were shaped as genitalia of different types? Xbox Connect, that's what it was. And so you had to make your way through different levels of difficulty using the realistic genitalia controllers. Canadian Farmstead said licensing. I'm sure I'm sure John Holmes would have, if he wasn't dead, God rest his soul, if you had come up to Long Dong Silver and said you wanted to license a likeness of his rod, I don't think he would have turned away the money. Oh, licensing as in like Nintendo or Sega, they didn't want that type of stuff on their platform. There's got to be smart. Hunter says someone somewhere has it, I'm sure. I hope so. I really hope so. Like, can you imagine you're trying to make your way through it, and you happen to be playing in the female as a female, and like Hunter and Canadian Farmstead would always pick, I want to be the girl. And so you got your controller and it's shaped like a big dong and you're doing different things to it. And all of a sudden you get to the 15th level and they're like, can't proceed past the 15th level until you buy another controller. And you're like, oh shit, this is going to be a tough level. John Palmer says, I went from Nintendo 64 to a Wii. I never had PlayStation or Xbox. I had like the pile of games. I had the small. Hunter's like, I want to order 4 or 5 controllers. I'm gonna beat the game. Faster. Not good. This is conspiracy theory. Canadian Farm says, giving new meaning to the Xbox. EX box. Hunter says, what's the point of playing if you don't beat it? Jesus. Oh man. Which female porn star would be the prototypical model for the female controllers? Would it be Jenna Jameson? You got to go with a classic, an old school actress, but get her. We could spin this up. Who's got some venture capital? Let's Canadian Farmstead says the Xbox. I think we could call it the sex box. the glory hole or some shit like that. Canadian Farmstead says the Friday Devolution show. Yeah, no shit. Kind of went sideways a little bit. That's because Elon was talking about games and how we're in a simulation. And if this is all a simulation, what difference does it make? If it was all a simulation, who cares? We'll just hit reset. Start over. Next theory was also portrayed as Elon speaking. Now, again, this was they use these video clips of Elon on Rogan a lot, and then they voice over it, and they get a voice, I think AI simulated or something that sounds a lot like him. So it gets difficult to tell whether this rolled out of Elon's mouth or not. Now, it could have been an episode where he smoked a bunch of dope or he took fucking psychedelics or whatever, because he seems to like to get all fucked up on Rogan. Pip says, how many warranty claims on those controllers? Overused. How about the battery packs burning out? I tell you, there's going to be no returns. It's going to be one of those things where it's like underwear. You just don't return it. Hunter says, wait, does all the Mandela effect mean that there was a mod updates? Okay, I'm going to talk about this next one, and I'm going to answer your question. He says DLC downloads, bug patch updates. Yeah. Okay. So this might have been Elon. It might have not. I don't know. I didn't dig any even further. I haven't listened to Joe Rogan a whole episode, let alone a handful of clips, actual clips, other than on other platforms than his podcast. So this could have been Elon. It might not have been. But he was talking about. It started out. He was talking about. Have things felt weird since 2020? And of course you're like, well, of course they have. It's been a fucking shit show ever since the vid, since the COVIDs. He said that is when we transitioned into a simulation. That is when we transitioned into a virtual reality. And as he was talking, I had to believe this, that it wasn't actually him saying this. But maybe. And he said, well, listen to this shit. So Google Maps and Google Earth for years have been combing the globe, making a video replica of the world outside. They've been driving around. They've been taking Google Earth images from satellites. They've been taking street views. They've been taking all of this and constructing a virtual replica of the Earth, of everything on it. From above, from the side, from eye level, from wherever you want. You ever go on Google Earth and zoom around? Not Google Maps on your phone, like Google Earth on your desktop and get some really decent video and images. It's crazy. So they also took all the devices that we carry around every day. They use the cameras. We know that the shit's spying on us. We know that every device that has a camera could possibly be recording, even when it says it's not recording. And it's recorded all the inside of the houses and everything you see as you're on your phone. It's recording you and behind you and the front facing and the back facing cameras and all sorts of stuff like that. So now they have the data, the pictures, the images, the video to create a simulation of the everyday life. So we have Google Earth and Google Maps making a 3D replica of the world outside. We have all the feeds of all the cameras and the audio and everything making a replica of your day-to-day life. Then they are taking online presence, social media presence, things like that, any digital footprint, and crafting your avatar. They're making a complete replica of you in your likeness in this simulation. Hunter says, yeah, I always said you should be able to buy your city as a map for like race games and stuff. Yeah, I mean, whatever. So he's painted a picture now of this totally digital copy of what we got going on. Outside, inside, streets, overhead, day-to-day life, everything on the inside of your house, your vehicle, everything is to a T. Any digital footprint online, boom, it's there. Your avatar is there. It's your likeness in this simulation. And so they asked him, so what? It's just a digital replica of what we got going on. How do we end up in this simulation without us knowing it? And he said the 5G, and this is where it really went sideways. The 5G towers, the cell towers, if tuned to the right electromagnetic pulse, can harvest instantly the consciousness of anybody within the range. So with all the 5G towers up, and this is pure, not me. I didn't think of this. I'm not saying this is true. I am only talking. This is what it said on the Tickety Talk. Basically, the 5G towers, when tuned to the right electromagnetic pulse, harvest consciousness instantly and can transfer it into the digital simulation of our world and place you into your replica avatar in the simulation. And Hunter asked, the Mandela effect means that they're mod updates. The Mandela effect is probably things that didn't get captured by the imaging of the replica. Or they got it wrong. Or they updated it. Or there's a glitch and it's fixed, or a patch, just like he said. Job or Mike's Holmes said tinfoil blocks it though. If you happen to have your tinfoil on at that moment. Pip says, I heard a report of AI using a Wi-Fi router to basically sonar a home to tell where humans are. That's not just AI doing that. Police can, from what I understand, there's devices police can tap into your Wi-Fi router and get an inside scan of your house if there's like a hostage situation or something to that effect. That technology is there. Not deployed in everyday use, but it's been tested and it works. Could have also been a complete bullshit article, but I do recall reading something about that. Hunter said, "Where the hell are all the health packs and all the the bloody loot?" Right. It's interesting. It also puts us back into that. What did they do with all the bodies? What did they do? Are we all harvested into energy machines or some shit to keep it all running? I have to assume that running something like that takes quite a bit of energy. Was the Matrix right? I don't know. So that was interesting. Kind of goes along with the quantum veil theory that popped up too when I was digging in yesterday. Have you heard of the quantum veil theory? Comes basically, like, we've talked a little bit about it before. Um, Basically, our higher ups, our elites on this planet have been working with aliens, and aliens, not in the little green Martian guys, not in the Area 51, not in the UFO crashing type, but what we would refer to as demons on Earth currently. Our elites have been working with them to stave off them basically harvesting our whole Earth. That these demons, these aliens are interdimensional. They travel through dimensions and they feed off of human emotion, particularly fear and despair. That all the wars, the pandemics, the mass casualty events, the stuff that happens like 9/11 and school shootings and events all over the world that take place that distress large amounts of people are all orchestrated for these things to harvest our energy, to keep them happy, to keep them from basically just destroying us. And it's it's really the what did they say, the aliens we know of, the aliens that we see that they put forth, the UFO sightings, all of the Area 51, all of those aliens are all a smokescreen to have people focus that that's what extraterrestrials are, that it's all holograms and drones and fake bullshit to distract you into believing that, oh, these are the aliens that are here. These are the ones that we know, or basically say this is bullshit. That doesn't exist. It doesn't. They don't exist. But in actuality, it's a totally different type of being that is out there. That it's harvesting the angst and the bullshit from our world. And there was a long line of different layers to this, and one was AI was installed here to try to figure out how to break a barrier so that they can effortlessly come here and harvest our energy. Like, the theory at the moment is that there's an agreement, there's a truce, that we will keep having these small to mid-range events on Earth for them to harvest this energy, as long as they let us be. And yeah, I was like, you know what? I don't call anybody crazy anymore. I don't call anybody crazy anymore. It all is plausible, yet not probable. So quantum veil theory, if you want to look into it a little bit more, you can. And the the last one on my list. Sorry guys, I got a hair in my nose. Gonna blah. It's here we go. It's not gonna happen. John Palmer says, "Don't worry, be happy." Yeah, that's how we're gonna defeat the aliens. Is if we all join hands and sing "Kumbaya" and we're all happy all at once. Then they have no reason to be here. I guess maybe. Look it up. Quantum veil theory. Last one on the list here. I don't know if this is a push for the non-gendered folk, the we don't have a gender, we don't have this or that, or if this is the I'd actually heard a little bit about this before and I just glossed over it in the past. But have you ever heard of the theory that the Statue of Liberty is actually a man? Anybody heard about that? That the Statue of Liberty isn't a female? And there is a very exact replica of the Statue of Liberty from the late 1700s. Hunter says, "Oh yeah." Is that an "oh yeah" like "oh yeah, I've heard it"? Or "oh yeah, like tell me more"? Hunter says, "Because it doesn't have any boobs." Attaboy, Hunter. Attaboy. Oh, it has man hands. Right into it. Hunter is all over this shit. No boobs and man hands. Does she have an Adam's apple? I see that wiener in the cloth hanging down over his midsection. Just because it has a wiener doesn't mean it's a man. Oh God. So what this lady said was the Statue of Liberty is actually a man, and it's based on a painting of Lucifer, yeah, the devil, that guy, from 1797. Mike Homestead says it's copper and steel. I'm saying it's neither a male or a female. That's why we'd like to have you around, Mike. Always keeping us based in reality. Jesus. Sorry, the Statue of Liberty is based on a man or the likeness of a female. Hunter says that third fold. We found our model for the Xbox game. You see that thing? It's huge. Hunter says he did the math on how much scrap copper the Statue of Liberty is. But basically, this girl brought up a picture, and I think let me see if I sent it to myself here this morning. I could bring it up. Did I send the right one? Nope, that was Jeffrey Epstein. There was a whole one I watched. About likenesses and Jeffrey Epstein and who was on the 20? Thomas Jefferson. Yeah, that their likeness, and they have all sorts of likenesses. Mike's Homestead, Hunter, helping you out. 31 tons of copper in the Statue of Liberty. But anyway, this woman brought up this picture of Lucifer from 1797, and then she also brought up an image of the face of the Statue of Liberty before it was actually put on the statue, and they were almost identical. Like I actually I was like, oh, yeah, I mean, this totally makes sense. But why was it France that sent us the Statue of Liberty? Why is France sending us a statue of Lucifer? She also went on to say that the image of the painting was almost an exact replica of the pose of the Statue of Liberty with the arm up and the chains around the feet. And she started to dive in further about what the painting was about, and then she went all squirrely and started talking about women's power and all sorts of stuff, and I was like, you lost me. She says that they talk about she told a little funny joke. She was going down a really interesting path, and then she's like, but we know for sure it's not a woman, because all you'd have to do is go bump into it, and if it was a woman, we say, excuse me, pardon me, I didn't mean to be in your way. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But yeah, I was interested in this painting of Lucifer from 1797. If anybody can find any information about that. Hunter says, I thought everyone was saying it was Isis, as in the Greek mythology Isis, and that the USA was the new Babylon. Interesting. Huh. I don't know. How much does 31 tons of copper scrap out for? Pip says, quote unquote, Lady Liberty. Well, and that was the thing. That Lady Liberty, was that coined after the fact? Was that coined by someone that just looked at it and was like, oh, that's a woman? I think it's a pretty androgynous looking man if it is a man. Hunter's going to the scrapyard today. Roll up and be like, hey, I got a 31 tons of copper that I got access to. How much if I rolled in with it on a flatbed trailer? They're gonna be like, what? We're gonna need authorization for that to prove you didn't steal it. He says it's dirty copper. Well, of course it's dirty copper. Of course it is. It's got bird shit all over it, and it's green. Has the Statue of Liberty been a lie our whole life? Has Lady Liberty been a lie our whole life? Mike says current scrap price for dirty copper 9,000 per ton. So what's that put us at? 270 grand. Do you think that, adjusted for inflation, has the price of the Statue of Liberty increased enough that the scrap value is more than the original value of the statue? Run those calculations, Mike. What was the estimated value of the Statue of Liberty when it was constructed, and what, adjusted for inflation, what's the current cost, and what the current cost of scrap value for it is? I mean, maybe Trump will make an executive decision, a good business decision, and realize that it's more of an asset being scrapped than sitting in on Ellis Island out there in the harbor. We should start a petition to scrap the Statue of Liberty because it for some unknown reason Just Hunter says the whole penny thing. Pennies are worth. It costs more than a penny to make a penny. That makes sense. That makes sense. Get it? Sense. I've been thinking that. Corey confirms that Lady Liberty was the start of the whole trans movement. They've been embedding it into us for that long, and they finally made the transition. Mike Homestead says yes, it does, and I'm not sure if that's an answer to does it make sense, or if it makes if the Statue of Liberty makes is more valuable as scrap than it originally was when they made the statue. Hunter says, "Where's the soundboard?" Dude, I bought the cheapest microcomputer I could get that would function enough to do what I want to do, and it ain't gonna run a soundboard. Good morning, Jim, over on Noster. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate the zap as always. It's been a rough one, guys. The start to the show. Jim says Lady Liberty's a handsome gentleman, or no, handsome woman. She does have very distinguishing features, a chiseled chin and a chiseled nose. If she was made out of rock, that would make sense. Hunter says if I had a soundboard, Corey could be more part of the show. I could record her saying nasty things about me, and then play them like she's sitting here. We gotta shop past her. Oh, she says that's me. Oh, you guys are just going to have to wait for her chiming in randomly as she passes by or has a day off. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Lady Liberty is a handsome woman. Oh, God. It's been an interesting ride today, folks. Hunter says she could push the buttons. Oh. Okay, Mike's Homestead in with the figures. Statue of Liberty, $670,000 to build, quote unquote, her and the base. Is that in today's dollar, or is that adjusted for inflation, or was that real cost then? Because if it was real cost then, we're really fucked. It's not even close. Even if it's adjusted for inflation, we're still a third of the value. I don't know. I think. Oh, that was then price. What is 670,000 adjusted for inflation today? Like $8 trillion. France must have really liked us. Interesting. Huh. Corey hitting the soundboard buttons from back in the back when she's working and I'm doing this show, just randomly, or whatever sounds get put on there. Oh man. It's gonna be a busy weekend, guys. Corey's off today. We're gonna go head down to do grocery shopping, laundry, that whole normal Friday trip. I get to have a date with my wife again. She gets all this time off of work, and then next week she's got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. Woo! Mike's Homestead said the U.S. paid $270 for the base, so we could break even on the base, I guess. Well, not really, because I'm guessing that's not adjusted for inflation. So those bitches gave us a gift of a statue and made us buy the base. What the hell were we supposed to do with it when it got here? Just lay it on the ground? What kind of bullshit is that? Fucking France. Hunter said, doesn't France have their own Statue of Liberty? Maybe. Replica? Mini. Yeah, I do think that they have a mini Statue of Liberty too. It was probably the model for Mike says scrap it. Well, I mean, if somebody was like, hey, I built you this really big fucking statue and I want to give it to you as a gift, and then it shows up and you're like, well, fuck, they didn't send a base? That's like getting a fucking Christmas present without batteries. That's like getting a gift card and then having to spend your own money to use it. Thanks, Bold. I could either use 3/5 of the gift card, or I got to put money in to get something more. I appreciate the $50, but you might as well have just made it a $30 gift card. That just didn't sound as good. What the fuck? Hunter says crazy alien guy says this are wireless transmitters. We should make wireless transmitters, or the Statue of Liberty is a wireless transmitter. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna go do our normal Friday stuff here. I don't think we'll make it out to the gully today unless we run really early, which I don't know if that's gonna happen. But tomorrow and Sunday we will be constructing the new garden shed. This is a tool shed style, 3.5 by 5, maybe not a big 10 by 12. Corey has volunteered. Volunteered. I asked her, and she said, begrudgingly, said that she would help me construct this thing. But we're gonna construct it. Gonna make a base for it. Make a base for it and get that up, get a video of it, more video than I got before. I did get I did do some installation video on the old one, or on the other one, but it didn't turn out very well, unfortunately. But we'll hopefully get some video of that, get that up, and that is the goal for this weekend. Was there anything else that we thought we could get done? Oh, maybe finally get the trees down. I don't know. It's supposed to be pretty windy, I think, again this weekend. Every time I go to cut the final trees down up at our site, the wind is blowing like crazy. So that is not safe with the type of trees I'm cutting down. Yeah, that sounds like the weekend. It's supposed to be cold as hell tonight. Hell is frozen over. It's supposed to get below freezing tonight, guys. So all of you up north folks, I feel your pain. I feel your pain as much as I'm going to, hopefully, this winter. But down to, I think, 29 tonight, and then warming back up into next week. So not too bad. I didn't winterize anything really. I'll probably unplug or unhook our shower tonight and drain it out just so it doesn't crack up outside. But 29 for a couple hours isn't a hard freeze by any means. So Anyway, that's the weekend. We'll make it through. We'll circle back and we'll fire it up again next Monday. Today, Damon Rocky was the release of Director Detour. The episode came out this morning. Damon Rocky, you can check that out. He is he's an entrepreneur from Atlanta who's building he's building a really cool concept in Atlanta there, a cross between like a private members club rolled into wine storage. He's in the wine industry. He is he's making a place where folks can store their wine and store their high-end wine, and then get together and share it with other wine collectors and other members of the facility, and also allowing the public in too. You'll have to listen to the episode to check it out. But check out Director Detour, link down in the video description. I think the link is still to Ray Martin, and then also a link to his guest post over on the Patreon page. Check out the Patreon page. It's free to join. The majority of the content comes out on the free side, and then eventually we'll end up having a little bit of the paid stuff and the premium content. But right now it's pretty much free as we build the community over there and build the show up. So go check it out, patreon.com/direct or detour, or find Director Detour on all your podcast feeds. We're recorded up into the middle of January. I'm excited that I'll be able to take some time off from recording over the holidays here and there for a few days that are normally scheduled. We're down, guys. Isn't it really heartwarming that we can be down for the 24-hour Bitcoin tracker and it's at over $98,000? 98,000, guys, is down over 24 hours. I like it. Anyway, check it all out. If you're doing your Christmas shopping this weekend prior to Black Friday, I'm not sure why you are, but if you're online, I think a lot of the deals actually started already. I know the AeroPress did and things like that. If you could check out those idea lists down in the video description, in the audio description, click on those, head on over to my Amazon storefront and start your Amazon shopping there. And I'll earn a little commission, and it'll be a nicer Christmas for me and Corey and Norman and Clyde. Like I said earlier, they are eating a ton of food, so help us feed the dogs by clicking on those Amazon links or supporting the show any way you can. All the information down in the descriptions. Mike's Homestead says bring back 60K. I'm saying bring back 20. I read somebody yesterday said, wouldn't it be fantastic? You had all these Bitcoin guys sitting around staring at the prices, trying to hit 100,000. Last night it was bouncing over 99, bouncing over 80, 98, and they're waiting. They're like, oh, come on, if we all make a buy together, it'll push over 100, blah, blah, blah. And one guy goes, wouldn't it be fantastic if the price just dropped to 20K? The jaw dropping would be phenomenal. And then I think the overload on the network of people trying to buy more, if it dropped to 20K, would crash the system. It would just be done. Bitcoin, that would be the end of Bitcoin. Anyway, guys, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Jim says the cold got his sweet potatoes there in Central Florida. Sorry, Jim, you're going to have to start over with new sweet potatoes. Sorry, buddy. Anyway, I hope everybody has an awesome day. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. You get a bunch of shit done, and you make it through the simulation. You chew your gum, you swallow it, and you take a hard, long look at whether the Statue of Liberty is a man or a woman. Have a fantastic weekend, guys, and we'll catch up with you on Monday.